this is PSP versus DS Part 2. Alright. This feature will contain the PSP right here and the Nintendo DS Lite right here. Alright, this will show the specs of each system. The PSP weighs approximately 260 grams, and this weight is including the battery. And for the DS Lite, it weighs 218 grams, including the battery. So there's not too much of a difference, but there is. It's pretty big. Alright, the CPU of the PSP runs at 333 megahertz, while the DS only runs at 100 megahertz. So the speeds are very different. So this allows the PSP to run larger games and more complex games while still loading pretty fast. And the DS is still stuck with less complicated games in formatting and stuff like that. Alright, the main memory built into the PSP, it has 32 megabytes, and the RAM of the PSP has 4 megabytes, which is the exact same as the RAM on the DS, which is 4 megabytes. The display of the PSP, as you can see, it's got a wide screen. It's 4.3 inches, or a 16:9 widescreen LCD screen. And the screen has 480 to 720 pixels. By 270 pixels. 72 pixels. While the DS only has 256 by 192 pixels. The outports of these systems, well, the PSP has a USB port right up here, menu 1, and it also has a infrared port right here, and it does have a memory stick slot built in, which is right like that. Got my 4 gigs memory stick, slides right in there like that for extra memory. And the DS has nothing really. It does you can buy a special USB cord for it, which would go into your charging slot, and that's pretty much just for charging. But other than that, it's really got no other exportation of memory or anything like that, so it's not really a computer friendly device right there. These both systems have Wi-Fi. They're Wi-Fi enabled, so that allows wireless play of either close to a friend, like he's right next to you or such, or over the internet on some of the games. They do vary. Alright, the PSP has a UMD drive, which is right here. You just slide that open. There you go. UMD disk. Drive looks like that. It's right, the PSP part. And the DS, sorry, and the DS has the cartridge part and the Game Boy Advance cartridge part, which is a nice system. So it's got playback. Playback enhanced game, so you can play Game Boy Advance. Now the DS cannot play Game Boy Color games. Don't ask me why. That just Nintendo, I guess, didn't want you to go and play back there. Now the UMD capacity is, so the disc, like a UMD disc right here, would hold about 1.8 gigabytes of space. One disc, one of those small discs. And one of these, the DS cartridges, hold about, it fluctuates between games but it's 128 megabytes to 256 megabytes, so that's extremely less.